It's happening, you're on the brink of victory. But without one crucial step, everything you've worked for could slip away in an instant. You're standing at the threshold of your breakthrough. This portal isn't for everyone. It only opens to those who've weathered the storms, broken through unseen barriers, and refused to remain where others chose to settle. If you're here right now, it means you're among the rare few who have crossed the obstacles meant to hold most people back, people trapped. This energy, the Mercury and Virgo portal, only appears when something precise is being aligned. And right now, it's at its peak today and all throughout tomorrow. But there's a single mistake, one slip of the tongue, and this opening could slam shut before you even step through. That's why silence has never been more powerful. And if you think this is just another alignment or just another day, you're already missing what this portal is really hiding. Because what's waiting behind this gateway was never meant for the crowd. The masses don't even feel it. This window of power passes right over the crowd, and they continue their routines like nothing happened. Only the outliers, the misfits, the ones who never blended in, sense the shift. That's because the universe doesn't hand keys to those who play it safe. It reserves them for the ones willing to walk alone, to hold their tongue when silence protects what's growing in the dark. If you've ever wondered why your path felt lonelier, why it seemed like no one else could see what you see, this is why. The portal doesn't belong to them, it belongs to you. But the real question is, if you've been handed the keys, what exactly are they unlocking tomorrow? Music. The biggest mistake people make right before they win is announcing their victory before it's even secured. They get a glimpse of the finish line and instead of keeping their head down and pushing forward, they broadcast it to the world. That's when things slip away. Mercury in Virgo is ruthless with details. It exposes the cracks, the weaknesses, the little things you overlooked. And if the wrong ears hear what you're planning, they can twist it, block it, or even use it against you. Think about it like a chess game. What happens if you shout checkmate before you've actually placed the final move? You give your opponent the chance to change their play to take the win right out of your hands. Never celebrate your victory before you've locked it in. This portal is a test. Can you keep your breakthrough sealed tight until the crown is actually placed on your head? Or will you let the excitement betray you before the moment is real? Here's the paradox. As this portal opens, your energy gets louder. Your presence becomes impossible to ignore. People start noticing you without you even saying a word. Some are drawn in because they sense your momentum, while others feel threatened just by your glow. This is where it gets dangerous. Because while your aura is screaming, the strategy is silent. The universe is amplifying your energy, not your voice. That means you don't have to explain yourself. You don't have to convince anyone. And you don't have to share your plan. If you speak, you draw moths to your flame. Stay quiet, and you pass unnoticed straight to your win. This moment is about understanding that your very existence, your frequency, is enough. Your aura is already doing the talking. The ones meant to recognize it already see it. The ones who aren't meant to don't need to. Your power right now isn't in what you say. It's in what you withhold. Virgo energy doesn't show up with fireworks. It doesn't come to inspire you with lofty visions or emotional waves. It shows up with a broom, a checklist, a flashlight, and it points directly at the corners you've been pretending not to see. You can't ignore this shift. It starts subtle, almost annoying. You look around and things feel off, cluttered, noisy. Your room feels too cramped. That friend you've tolerated too long suddenly makes you feel heavy. The way you eat, the way you sleep, the way you spend your time, it all begins to feel wrong. That's not coincidence. That's Virgo. Virgo doesn't destroy what's not working. It makes you see it so clearly you can't unsee it. And once you see it, you can't go back to tolerating it. Mercury in Virgo brings hyper-awareness. It's like your inner editor is suddenly wide awake and ruthless. You begin noticing every small thing that's been dragging down your energy, without your permission. The conversations that leave you drained. The food that bloats your body. The habits that you once called harmless. but now feel like anchors around your ankles. Virgo energy is not here to punish you. It's here to wake you up, and not just spiritually, physically, mentally, energetically. It's a system recalibration. Breakthroughs don't land in mess, they need clean space to anchor. The problem is most people resist this phase because it's not glamorous. Virgo energy doesn't feel exciting at first. It feels like discomfort. It feels like everything's under inspection. But that discomfort is exactly what tells you the energy is working. And the moment you align with that honesty, things start shifting. You clear one drawer, and suddenly you're flooded with new ideas. You cut one toxic connection, and a door opens where it was previously closed. That's the thing with Virgo. It rewards action, not intention. It responds when you do something, not just journal it, not just think about it, not just script it out for manifestation. You've got to move, and don't be surprised if the cleanup becomes addictive. Because once you start removing the excess emotionally, physically, socially, you start to feel that's the signal your body and spirit were waiting for. That lightness is momentum. It means your field is clearing. It means your frequency is rising. It means the portal sees you making space for the upgrade. Clarity isn't a reward, it's the requirement. This is why the Virgo portal feels so relentless, because it doesn't just nudge you to clean, it demands it, and not just the visible spaces. Virgo digs into your routines, your diet, your internal dialogue, your screen time, your sleep habits, your emotional hygiene. It's a cosmic detox. The truth is Virgo isn't just the cleanup crew. It's the quality control of the zodiac. It won't let your win land in chaos. It won't let your manifestation arrive if your life can't hold it. And that's not punishment. That's protection. The very thing you've been asking for is too valuable to hand to a messy, distracted, energetically leaky version of you. So if you're feeling overwhelmed by the urge to clean, to refine, to declutter, to purge, trust it. That's the portal whispering. Make room. Something big is coming. Nothing changes until you do, and nothing arrives until there's space for it to stay. Let the Virgo energy do what it came to do, not because you want to be perfect, but because your future deserves clean floors to walk in on. Your win isn't waiting for you to do more, it's waiting for you to remove what's no longer needed. And when the dust settles, when the noise is gone, when the chaos is cleared, you'll notice something else. Peace, stillness, focus. That's when you know the runway is ready. The universe doesn't land planes in storms. It waits for clarity. And clarity is what you're building now. Quietly, precisely, intentionally. So sweep the floor, cut the tie, empty the inbox, rearrange your altar, delete the number, wash your sheets, purge the clutter, organize your thoughts. The Virgo portal is open, and the cleaner your world becomes, the faster your crown arrives. There's a special kind of power that only the quiet ones ever get to taste. The kind of power that's invisible, until it strikes. You've heard people say, move in silence, but they never explain why silence matters or how it works in your favor. Right now, in this exact portal, that silence is your weapon, and not because it keeps people out, but because it keeps your impact intact. Silence doesn't make you smaller, it makes your next move too big to predict. When you stay quiet, people fill in the blanks. They assume nothing's happening, they write you off, they count you out, and that's exactly what you want, because in that underestimation, in that blind spot, is where you gather the most strength. It's the gap between their perception and your actual power that gives you the space to work undisturbed. And here's what most people will never understand about this phase. When people underestimate you, they stop guarding themselves. They relax. They don't see you as a threat. So while they're distracted trying to impress the world, you're quietly removing blocks, aligning yourself, and stacking silent wins that no one's tracking but you. You're creating momentum that won't be noticed until it's too late to stop it. The most dangerous person in the room is the one who has nothing to prove but everything to execute. This isn't about being humble for the sake of it. It's about timing. It's about knowing that the universe doesn't reward noise during a portal like this. It rewards discipline. And that means knowing when to hold your cards and when to go all in. And let's be honest, they weren't rooting for you anyway. Most people only clap when it benefits them. They'll support you once you're undeniable. But during the build-up, when you're still climbing, still planning, still moving in silence, that's when the doubts come, the dismissals, the condescending advice. They don't see the crown forming because they're looking for noise, not energy. Let them think you're finished. Let them think you gave up. Victory hits hardest when they stopped paying attention. You see, Virgo doesn't just clean up, it clears the path, so no one sees what's being built. That's what you're doing now, and this is why the universe loves to elevate the quiet one, because when you don't need external validation, when you're not performing for the crowd, you become unshakable. You are not behind, you are just unannounced. And when the moment comes, because it will come, the shock wave will be unforgettable. The people who overlooked you will scramble to make sense of how they missed the signs. But you'll know that every moment of silence was a strategy. So let them talk, let them doubt, let them think you're the more they underestimate you, the more room you have to rise without friction. Their attention is a distraction, their noise is irrelevant. You are in alignment, not for their applause but for your breakthrough. You are not being quiet because you're locked in, you're being quiet because you're locked in. Let them misunderstand your silence. Just make sure they never forget your results. Not every win looks like fireworks in the sky. Some of the biggest breakthroughs arrive dressed in ordinary clothes, disguised as something small, something most people would overlook. That's the gift of Mercury in Virgo. It doesn't bring grand gesture. It brings precision, details and subtle shifts that change everything if you're awake enough to notice. This portal is whispering, not shouting. It's in the text that seems random, but carries opportunity. It's in the phone call that feels casual but opens a door you didn't expect. It's in the invitation you almost ignore, but later realize was the thread that unraveled into a life-changing connection. Virgo teaches you that victories aren't always loud. They're quiet, almost invisible to the untrained eye. Sometimes the blessing doesn't knock. It slips through the cracks while you're still. That's why silence is your ally here. When you're too loud, too eager to announce every step, you drown out these subtle messages. You miss the whispers because you're making all the noise. But when you stay silent, when you let your energy do the work instead of your words, you notice the signs. You catch the details that others skim past. Invisible victories aren't just about outside events either. They happen inside of you. The moment you stop reacting to old triggers, the moment you realize a toxic connection no longer has power over you, the moment you choose patience instead of proving yourself, that's a win. It may not be something you can post about, but it shifts your entire time. This is Virgo's secret power. It rewards those who master the small, because the small is never just small. It's the architecture of the big. The silent wins are building momentum beneath the surface, stacking one on top of the other, until the breakthrough finally bursts into the open. Here's the paradox. The quieter you are, the louder the universe speaks. The less you broadcast, the more you receive. Because this portal isn't about showing the world you're winning. It's about letting the universe hand you victories no one else can see until the day they can't ignore it anymore. Silence doesn't mean doing nothing. Silence is not weakness. It's not passivity. It's power under control. The most dangerous people in the room are not the loud ones, but the ones who know how to wait without wasting energy. That's what this portal is asking of you, to master the art of active silence. So what do you do while you wait? You turn inward. You build strength in places nobody can see. You align yourself so completely with the wind that when it shows up, it feels inevitable, not surprising. This isn't about sitting still and hoping. It's about moving energy in a way that doesn't require words. One of the most powerful things you can do right now is silent gratitude. Not writing it down, not speaking it into the air, just feeling it, breathing it. letting your body experience the victory before it's even visible. Gratitude that is felt, not spoken, bends reality in your favor. You can also reflect deeply on your goals, but not in the obsessive way that scatters your mind. Virgo energy wants precision. So look at the details of your life, and ask yourself what needs cleaning, what needs trimming, what no longer belongs. This is a ritual in itself. Every time you clear a drawer, every time you delete a number you don't need, every time you cut out an old habit, you're signaling to the universe, I'm making space for my win. Meditation during this time isn't about emptying your mind. It's about sharpening it. Sitting in silence, focusing on your breath, you begin to notice the little thoughts that run wild. The more aware you are of those whispers inside, the more power you have when the real whispers from the universe arrive. And here's the truth most people miss. Silence isn't empty. It's loaded with answers. When you hold your energy, instead of spilling it, it grows. When you let your aura speak louder than your voice, the right people feel it, the right opportunities sense it, and the wrong ones are filtered out automatically. Think of it as a ritual of containment. You're not wasting your fire on explanations, validations or premature celebrations. You're letting the fire build in silence until it becomes undeniable. Silent winners don't rush. They don't broadcast. They prepare. And when the moment finally arrives, it looks to everyone else like an overnight success. But you'll know it was built in the unseen hours of disciplined waiting. Not everyone can handle this kind of silence. Not everyone can sit in the stillness of a portal and let their energy do the work. And this is where it gets interesting. Because while you're growing stronger, the people who aren't aligned with this frequency start to unravel. Watch closely. They'll become restless, agitated, and strangely irritable. The quiet energy of this moment feels unbearable to them. It's like shining a light into a room full of dust. Suddenly, everything that was hidden starts floating in the air, where you can't ignore it anymore. They can't stay still, because stillness forces them to face themselves, and instead of looking inward, they project outward. So you'll see it play out in obvious and subtle ways. Gossip out of nowhere, arguments that don't even make sense. Someone close to you might suddenly try to drag you into drama, not because you did anything wrong, but because they can't sit with the quiet that's exposing their own emptiness. The louder they get, the more they reveal what they've been hiding. These people are the spiritual vampires, and the silence of this portal makes them restless. While you're being asked to conserve your fire, they're desperately looking for a flame to feed on. They'll try to poke at you, bait you, pull you into conversations that drain your focus. And if you're not careful, your energy meant for your breakthrough gets wasted on battles that don't even belong to you. But here's the part you need to pay attention to. Not all of them come at you openly. Some won't lash out or create drama in an obvious way. Instead, they'll take on another disguise, one that's far more dangerous, because it doesn't look like hostility at all. In fact, one of the clearest ways they reveal themselves is by suddenly appearing helpful. This is the part most people don't see coming. When the energy shifts like it has now, not every distraction shows up as obvious hostility. Sometimes the most dangerous interference doesn't come from an enemy shouting in your face. It comes from an old critic, a doubter, or even a rival, who suddenly appears with a smile and an offer of help. It's strange, isn't it? Someone who ignored you, dismissed you, or even secretly rooted against you, suddenly wants to be part of your journey. They may say things like, I just want to look out for you, or I thought you could use my advice. But underneath, this isn't pure generosity. This is a test. Not every hand extended to you is meant to lift you up. Some are meant to hold you in place. You have to understand what's really happening here. The portal exposes everyone's true alignment. Those who can't sit in silence, those who feel your breakthrough without even knowing why. They start acting out in strange ways. Some lash out directly, but others try a more subtle tactic, infiltration. If they can't attack your path openly, They'll try to get close enough to steer you just a few degrees off course. This is why you cannot get flattered or tricked into thinking that sudden attention is the same as genuine support. Sometimes their advice is actually doubt wrapped in nice words. Sometimes their help is just a way to insert themselves into your energy to harvest the momentum that was never theirs to begin with. Friendly sabotage is still sabotage. And in this portal it's at its peak. It's a cosmic test. The universe is asking, do you trust the silence more than you trust outside voices? Because silence keeps you aligned with the wind that's forming. Outside voices, even the ones that sound supportive, can distort it. Your victory doesn't need validation, it needs protection. Remember, not every opportunity to share is meant to be taken. Not every hand extended deserves to be held. Some people want to walk you across the finish line, just so they can claim they were part of your race. But this win is not for public consumption, it's yours. Entirely yours. And that's exactly why the universe is making sure you can recognize the difference between genuine support and cleverly disguised resistance. Here's the part nobody likes to admit. Most people lose their win not because they weren't ready, not because they didn't deserve it, but because they couldn't keep quiet. They get excited, they want to share, they want validation, and in doing so they break the seal. The energy that was meant to crystallize into their breakthrough leaks out, disperses, and the portal closes right in front of them. Most people sabotage their own win at the last second. Don't join them. Think about it like carrying water in your hand. If you keep them cupped and steady, you'll make it to where you need to go. But the moment you open your palms to show others what you've been holding, it all spills. Your win is like that, fragile until it's secured, powerful once it's sealed. When you start talking too soon, plans unravel. Suddenly, the people who are meant to quietly support you fade into the background. Helpers back off, because they sense the energy isn't pure anymore. It's scattered. Opportunities that were forming slip away because you've let too many voices, too many eyes, and too much energy interfere with what was meant to stay protected. And let's be real, there are always those listening, who don't want you to succeed. When you spill everything, you hand them the blueprint to interfere. Not because they're stronger than you, but because you gave them access to something that wasn't meant to be shared yet. But don't mistake this as fear. This isn't about living small or hiding forever. It's about time. Silence is not weakness. It's precision. It's knowing that every crown has to be placed in private before it's revealed in public. It's understanding that the universe works in stages. And you don't pull something out of the oven before it's ready to rise. Silence is not suppression. It's strategy. The beautiful part is this. If you hold the silence, the energy compounds. What was just a seed becomes a tree before anyone even knows you planted it. By the time people realize, it's too late for them to interfere. Your win is locked, sealed and undeniable. So the question becomes, will you stay disciplined enough to let silence do its work? Or will you be like most, sabotaging yourself in the final stretch? The portal is open, but it's up to you to walk through without announcing every step. There's a reason why legends are rarely born in the spotlight, and why true power moves are never broadcast in real time. This Mercury in Virgo portal is not here to punish your voice or make you hide. It's not about becoming invisible or small. It's about whether you can master your energy long enough to become undeniable. Whether you can hold your vision so tightly that not even your own excitement can pry it loose before it's time. Think about in every story worth telling, the one who ascends is never the one shouting from the rooftops, announcing every intention and craving attention at every step. It's the one who carries the secret like a treasure, who keeps the seed safe under the soil until it's strong enough to break through on its own. Silence isn't emptiness, it's a vault, and the universe doesn't crown the loudest. It crowns the one who protected the process all the way through. True royalty is silent in its preparation and thunderous in its arrival. During this portal, you're being asked to prove you can be trusted with the win you've prayed for. Anyone can talk about their dreams. Anyone can hype themselves up. But can you keep your excitement on a leash, nurture your goal in silence, and let it become undeniable on its own? This is the final test. It's not a punishment, it's a graduation. Because here's the secret. The world has always underestimated the quiet one. People assume silence is weakness. They think if you're not talking, you must not be doing anything worth mentioning. Let them believe it. Let them imagine you're standing still while in reality every moment of restraint is stacking power beneath the surface. So stand tall in your silence. Know that every second you hold back, you're proving yourself ready for the blessing that's been orbiting your timeline. And when it arrives, you won't need to say a word. The world will know the crown fits the quiet one. If you're still here, thank you so much for your time and attention. If you found value in this content, and would like to see more, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Your support means the world and helps this community grow. I'd love to hear your thoughts and experiences in the comments below. Until next time, take care, and subscribe to the Eternal Sage for more wisdom and insight.